स्वाध्याय टीवी। डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
Namaste and a big hello to all my learners. Dear friends, we have already discussed communication and process of communication. So, today you know what communication is and what exactly is the process of communication. Dear friends, there is a kind of a myth that communication takes place in presence of and with the help of words only. One requires words to communicate. No, it is not so. Communication can take place in absence of words also, and that communication which does not use word or words as signal or symbol is known as non-verbal communication. Today, we are going to discuss about non-verbal communication. Communication which does not use word or words as signal or symbol for the idea, emotion, anything to be communicated is known as non-verbal communication. Before we move further, shall we cherish a small video by our favorite Charlie Chaplin. Let us have a glance and cherish it. Yes, so what did you see? What did you? Aji next slide નથી આપવાની. અત્યારના અહીંયા video આવશે. Now I move further. So what did you see? Did you hear any word? No. Though there was no word, not a single word uttered or written, you could get the whole idea of the story. What was that? Was it communication or not? Yes, it was communication. The body language was communicating, the appearance was communicating, the music was communicating. So, non-verbal communication is also a type of communication. Today, we are going to discuss about the non-verbal communication and various components, types of non-verbal communication. Just observe the definition of non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication, type of communication which does not use words as symbol or sign to communicate is known as non-verbal communication. Yes. After this, now we will discuss about various components or types of non-verbal communication. The first is appearance. Appearance as non-verbal communication. Now, generally you must have observed one thing. Looking at somebody's, dress up. A person is with a bat in the hand, wearing sports clothes in the early morning, moving out of the door of the home, and we ask them, oh, going to play cricket? How did you come to know? Nobody has communicated to you. Yes, you came to know through the clothes that the person is wearing. So, in non-verbal communication, appearance, the dress you wear, maybe the way you look like, you communicate a lot. Now, you see, it is not only appearance of an individual that when you go for the interview, you wear very formal clothes, formal shoes. Not only that, you apply formal perfume also, not that strong. Now, you see, here your formal clothes, formal shoes communicates that you are going for an interview or maybe some formal meeting. You are wearing a cap, goggles, maybe a very casual trouser or maybe shorts and T-shirts. People will ask you, oh, seems to be a plan of picnic. How? Yes, the clothes that you are wearing, the way you are moving. So, your appearance communicates. Secondly, appearance of the surrounding. Appearance of the surrounding communicates. For example, you visit somebody's home for the first time. You enter and you say, oh, the owner of the house seems to have very good aesthetic sense. Who told you so? Arre Baba, the way the home is decorated, you come to know about it. Secondly, you enter in a hall and you say, oh, this is a dining space. Enough. Who told you that that is a dining space? Okay, fine. I invite you to my place. I lead you to my kitchen and then I say, oh, this is my sitting room. The person would smile and say, no ma'am, it is not sitting room, it is kitchen. Arre Baba, this is my home, so let me decide. Again the person would look and say, ma'am, there seems to be some mistake, it is a kitchen. Who told him or her? Yes, the surrounding told. The way the furniture is kept, the way the things are lying down, that communicates whether it is a kitchen or an office or a sitting room or a dining room or a bedroom or a study room. So, first non-verbal component is appearance, appearance of an individual and appearance of surrounding. Now, we move to the next, second. Second is body language, which is also known as kinesics. Now, in body language also comes gestures and facial expressions. Gestures and facial expressions, they are always part of body language. So, kinesics, body language, one may not utter a word, but communicate through the body. For example, when I do this, I communicate stop. Finger on the lips or finger on your nose. I ask somebody to shut your mouth. I may speak, I may not speak. Then, now you see, oh, disappointment. So, these are the communications, messages I communicate in absence of word with the help of my body. Okay. Sometimes, you know, we ask for, oh, not done. So, that is again body language. Next is gestures. Gestures means generally when we communicate with the help of hand movements. Okay. We do this, you know, what are you doing? You are asking for the lift. Oh, yes, yes, I am. When a teacher asks a question in the class, the student says, this means, oh, I know, I want to answer. So, these are the body language. Okay. Somebody is going to appear for the interview or, you know, going for the inning to play, to perform, and we say, so this is perform well, all the best. So, these are gestures we communicate in absence of words. Next is facial expressions. You see, facial expressions, face plays very vital role in communication. How? Angry, very angry. I'm surprised, shocked. Okay. So, these are communications, facial expressions, your eyes wide open, and again the wrinkles on your forehead. You are tensed, you are angry, you are disappointed, you are controlling to laugh, you cannot laugh, but oh. So, these are facial expressions, they communicate a lot. Again, no words, but yes, communication is there. Next is posture. Posture means the way you sit, the way you stand. Okay? If I am sitting like this, I am confident enough. Oh, I'm casual enough. Oh, at the edge of the chair, if I'm sitting like this, at the edge of the chair, I might be tensed. Now you see, my posture communicates at the same time, my gesture, my body language, I'm tensed. I'm sitting at the edge of the chair, so I'm not comfortable. I might be tensed. And then, now you see, my body language, gesture, nervous. So, non-verbal communication, my posture, oh, am I being judgmental? I'll have to think about. So, body language, gestures, my posture, how I am standing, how I am sitting. Oh, if I am sitting like this, oh, I am not interested. When a teacher says the student is sitting like this in the classroom, that means, is this the way? Are you sitting or sleeping? Are you paying attention? That means non-verbal communication is there, whether you say or not. Your body, your gesture, your facial expression, your posture communicate. Yes. The next is silence. You go to your class, your best friend sitting next to you looks at you. Hi, doesn't respond. Is anything wrong? Arey Baba, he has not told you that anything wrong. Why do you guess so? He doesn't respond. He doesn't speak. Yes, the silence also communicates. Silence communicates what? Yes, no, maybe, not interested, not happy, disappointed, don't want to get involved. Now, you see, when a person is silent, silence might be communicating any of these or something else also. It depends on you to understand, interpret it. So, silence also communicates. That is again another non-verbal communication. Now, generally when physical space is starting from physical contact to 18 inches generally. Now, you see the experts have different opinions about it, but generally it is believed that from the physical contact to 18 inches it is intimate relationship. Sometimes what happens, the students look at two people standing and say they are cousins, but they are not. How did you come to know? Now, you see the guessing, the way they are standing, their proxemics, the space language between both of them. So, from a child and a mother or a father and a child, siblings, spouse, husband and wife, or maybe best buddies, they would be very close, they may hug, they may kiss, they may have physical contact up to 18 inches relationship. So, that is intimate relationship. After 18 inches to 4 feet, you can have a glance over the slide also, just have a glance over the slide that says from 18 inches to 4 feet, that is personal space. That means, when two individuals share personal relationship, it is neither social nor public, it is personal. I know him personally, I am associated with her personally. So, when there is a personal relationship, it is from 18 inches to 4 feet. Now, the third is social, that is from 4 feet up to 12 feet. Now, 4 feet to 12 feet, yes, socially we are associated, maybe neighbors or maybe professionally working together, colleagues and all that. And after 12 feet up to one can see or maybe hear, that is public space. So, maybe a social leader, public leader, political leader, religious leader addressing to people starting from 20, 25 to thousands of people, that is public space. Now, what we have discussed is physical space, So, proxemics, space also communicates. Looking at two people, they seem to be two sisters. The way they are mingling, the way they are talking, with the physical touch and everything. So, they must be sisters, they must be best friends, or they must be mother and daughter. So, the communication is not through the words, the communication is through the space language. Now, next what comes is very important, psychological space. You might be wondering that physical space we have come across, what is this psychological space? Now, sometimes in the crowd, it is not, we are not comfortable, but at the same time it is not possible to have enough physical space with a person standing next to us. In that case, we create psychological space. How do we create? For example, you are in a crowd or might be in a lift. In lift, too many people are there. The person standing next to you, you don't want him or her to be that close to you. So, you will create a psychological space. How? The person is standing this side and I would look at this side. So, here I am creating space. Space means I am looking at opposite direction. So, the person standing this side next to me is not supposed to communicate to me. I have created that psychological space. Second, the person is trying to come yet closer. What would I do? I would look at him or her like this. Now, looking here and looking at the person, I am communicating. Here it is not possible, that the space is not enough to permit him to go too away. At the same time, I am creating psychological space. Looking here and here, that means keep away. So, this is psychological space. In psychological space, the physical space may not be enough, but you create a kind of space where you would try to avoid communication or being in contact with the person. So, that is psychological space. Again, that is non-verbal communication. We come to the next, which is time language. Time communicates. There is a proverb, oh, the time will show everyone who he is, whether a king or a beggar. Time communicates, yes. Here I am reminded of a movie. You all learners, generally young, tend to be more familiar with the movies. In Satya movie, if I am not mistaken, after getting married, Rani Mukherjee tells Vivek Oberoi, after waiting a lot for him, before marriage, whenever I used to call, you always used to reach earlier, and now as we are married, you don't reach on time also. Yes, time communicates. Who is the person very important to you? The event which is very important to you. If the person is very important to you, you would always keep the time of meeting. You may reach earlier on the place of the meeting. If the event, meeting is very important to you, you would try to reach rather than on time, before time, because those things are important to you. And if the person is not important, you may reach late. Sometimes so even you forget also, Baba, I was supposed to meet her. Oh, I was supposed to go for that meeting. Why did you forget it? Because the thing was not important, because the person was not important for you. Thus, time communicates. I hope, my dear learners, that things are clear to you. How space communicates, how even time communicates. Yes, again these are non-verbal communication. They are not using words anywhere. Yes. Now, we go to the next one. The next one is haptics or touch language. Now, who knows better than a mother? The child, small child who doesn't know any language, cries, and the moment mother carries the child in her lap, silence. And the mothers or the people around would say, oh, he or she recognize the hands. Hands means what here? That is the touch, the language of touch. When a best friend has lost his dear and near one, what do we do? Oh, we don't say, oh my dear friend, I understand that you have lost your near and dear one. We don't make speeches. We simply go, take her hand in our hand. So, this communicates. My student performed so well, so well. I don't do anything. Comes and a tap on the shoulder or back. This has communicated. This is haptics, touch, and we know it very well that touch is used today as a therapy also. There is a haptics, touch therapy. That means diseases, the problems are cured with the help of touch. Even many a times it is said that in intimate close relationship, simply touching, feeling or making someone feel your presence with touch or haptics strengthens the relationship. It gives kind of personal touch. Even at certain professional places also, generally this therapy is used with its very professional interpretations. Yes. So, again this is touch or haptics theory, non-verbal communication. Now, we move to the yet next one. Graphs, charts and maps. The distance from Ahmedabad to Delhi is, अरे बाबा यहाँ अहमदाबाद यहाँ Delhi, it is not so. अरे this is map, from map I come to know. The admissions of the university in 1994, this much, and then the graph reached up to, graph, maps, timetables, all these things communicate. Many a times there might not be words, listen, there might not be words, but they communicate. I do not say that there would never be any word, but what communicate in that, that is not always a group of words or a set of words. There are many more other things. For example, if there is a chart, in the chart color, occupied place communicates. There may not be any figure, but it communicates. So, again non-verbal communication. Next is sign or symbol. The studio Chaitanya, and then there is an arrow. How did you come to know that studio Chaitanya is this side, left, not right? Array, there is an arrow. From arrow we came to know. So, the communication is through the sign and symbol. Many times we have observed that the symbol of minus, division, addition. So, this addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, aren't they symbols? At the same time, sometimes what happens? This is addition plus, but at the same time positive, B positive, blood group is B positive. The plus is not addition, there it stands for positive. So, at the same time it is so important that when we communicate non-verbally, the learner or the receiver, the person who receives your signal or communication should be equally familiar with those signs, symbols and everything. Dear friends, keep in mind, for example, if I ask you, would you join me for, now if you say what is this? This is T. Now, this T means T. Now, if you are not familiar with this body language, this symbol in body language, then the communication would fail. So, it is very important that when non-verbal communication is also used, at the same time the person who is a receiver may have or should have the same background to understand, interpret it in its genuine, right, correct sense and meaning. Next non-verbal communication is paralinguistic. Now, paralanguage and paralinguistic, it is also known as parallel language. Now, parallel language, there are certain experts, they call it rather than non-verbal, a verbal communication, it is not verbal. How non-verbal or verbal? Let us discuss about it. There is a sentence or a situation. For example, Heer gave me a book. H-E-E-R, Heer. A girl gave me a book. Now, you see, in paralanguage, it is not that the words exactly communicate. Here, the tone, intonation, pitch, the loudness, the emphasis, all these things communicate in a greater sense rather than the words. Let us discuss the same example. He gave me a book. He gave me a book. What I say? He gave me a book. The emphasis on the word he, the noun. John gave me a book. He gave me a book. That means when I say he gave me a book, I mean to say he gave me a book. Shelja has not given me this book. I want to clarify, he gave me this book. So, here the meaning is different. Okay, when I say he gave me this book, oh, she gave me this book, she has not borrowed it from me. So, the emphasis on the verb, she gave me this book. Okay. He gave me this book. Oh, I did not want this book. I asked for another one. He gave me this book. So, here the emphasis on the this book, particular. He gave me this book. Oh, I had asked for CD and she gave me this book. Are you getting the same sentence? He gave me this book. He gave me this book. He gave me this book. Arey, she was not supposed to give me this book. She was supposed to give it to her madam, her class teacher. So, he gave me this book. He gave me this book. He gave me this book. I hope you are clear about that. The sentence exactly does not communicate, but the tone, intonation, pitch, stress, emphasis on certain word communicates in a greater sense. That is paralanguage or paralinguistic. Again, the tone, intonation, pitch, that is more of a non-verbal. Yes. The next non-verbal communication is colors. Colors communicate. Who knows better than all of us? Indians. India is a country of lot many colors. Colors means the variations. Somebody wearing white color, and we ask, I hope everything is fine, nothing is wrong. White color means somebody might have died. Black color, oh, is anything wrong at your family? Somebody wearing green and red colors, oh, festive colors, marriage, function, tricolors. If we talk about orange, green, white, oh, that stands for my country. Patriotism, color of patriotism. Now, you see, the color communicates. When somebody is in white, it stands for peace. Green stands for greenery. Orange stands for sacrifice. Grey for gloomy feeling. These colors communicate. When a person is dressed in certain color, particular color, we ask, we try to relate it to the situations or occasions or happenings. My dear friends, with the changing of culture, the communication also changes. For example, for us white, maybe that might be standing as maybe gloomy color, color of peace. But when a Christian bride dresses up, white is a bridal color for them. The same might not be with the brides of the other caste, creed and community or maybe country. Now, for certain caste, creed, country, community, culture, particular white communicates this, maybe to the other it communicates something else. So, surely color communicates, but non-verbal communication depends a lot. Non-verbal components, types depend a lot on the cultural interpretations. So, always be careful about it. Yes, now we move to the next non-verbal component, and that is Mama. The child enters. Mama, something special. Is it Maggie? Nobody has said to the child that Maggie is being cooked. How does the child come to know? Smell. Oh, yummy. The foodie smell. Something is burning. Who told you? Smell communicates. Not only that, when somebody applies certain very strong perfume and moves out of the home, are you going for interview? Yes. With such a strong perfume? Why? Are you getting? Now, you see, interview etiquette says that strong perfume should not be applied when you are going for either for certain formal meeting or interview. Communication through smell. Smell communicates. Not only that, certain flower, certain smell of flower, certain smell of perfume. The person has visited the room, has left the place, then you enter and then you ask the person sitting there, has this person been here? Did he or she visit the place? How did you come to know? This is the smell of his perfume, talcum powder. Sometimes we have come across people telling that the person's perspiration also smells in a typical particular way. Yes, that means we come to the conclusion that smell communicates. Again, non-verbal communication, no words, but communication is there. Dear friends, I hope non-verbal communication is now clear to you. I would sum up in brief, non-verbal communication is the communication that generally does not use word for the communication, a sign or symbol. We discussed today various components of non-verbal communication, where we discussed about appearance of an individual or maybe of surrounding. We discussed about body language, including facial expression, including gestures. In facial expression also, as we said, that when a person maintains eye contact, oh, I am transparent, I am truthful, I am true to myself, I am not lying. And when a person tries to avoid looking in your eyes, that means either the person is nervous or is trying to hide something. Yes. So, we discussed about facial expression, gestures, body language, the language of touch, the language of space, the language of time. We discussed about the language of parallel tone, intonation, pitch, that is paralinguistic. Today, we discussed the language without words. Yes, now I hope that when you are communicating to anybody, you will observe and evaluate that how you are able to interpret non-verbal sign and symbol of the others, getting the right communication. Let me repeat it, that it is very important to learn non-verbal communication, because non-verbal communication is more faithful to individuals or communicators' feelings, emotions, ideas, etc. Whether the person wishes or not, most of the time the non-verbal gets communicated faster. And in communication also, when there is contradiction between verbal and non-verbal, non-verbal is to be paid more attention on, because that is more faithful to its genuine meaning and feeling. We shall discuss about communication and other things related to communication in next session. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
स्वाध्यायः परमं तपः
स्वाध्याय टीवी